Welcome back. Let's Fly Kerbal Space Program Rescaled version. I have the most helpful and intelligent viewers, and the comments section is a treasure trove of wisdom and knowledge and education and all kinds of beautiful stuff. After I recorded and uploaded the previous episode all in one night, and then I went back and I looked at the comments, and various people were explaining the error in figuring out. I was trying to put this into geosynchronous orbit. The reason that it wasn't working was because of a false assumption. I thought that the mass of Kerbin would be the same as Earth because it has the same gravity on the surface. This is a false assumption. This is a smaller planet, like diameter-wise, it's significantly smaller than Earth, has the same gravity, it's denser, but the overall mass is actually slightly less. So, if I put an orbit that is, an identical altitude above the surface, as compared to Earth, to this, less massive planet, it's going to be orbiting slower. If I want a geosynchronous orbit, then it's going to have to be closer. Hugh Atkin, this is a guy in particular, I wrote this down. I was about to go and look up the actual equations and everything that I had to, and figure out what variables I needed to use to figure it out, but the guy already did the math. I opened up the comment section, there it was. He calculated 26.3 thousand, grief, I can't even say it. 26,300 kilometers altitude, and my orbital velocity should be right around 2350 meters per second. Within a margin of error. He made a point that we have 3 significant digits. I love this game. You learn stuff. You learn real life stuff. Did you see the XKCD comic with how much he learned about orbital mechanics, and you learn more about orbital mechanics playing this game than you do, a lifetime of reading science fiction or actually working at NASA. Although he, with the caveat that he worked on robots at NASA, it wasn't actually doing orbital stuff. Any case, okay, so what I have on my alarm clock, which I set up with my next launch schedule, the next rocket that becomes available is another Atlatl 1. I'll actually use a mini. But even before that, let's go to the Babblebird. It's something that I set this up a little bit earlier. You see, when I was not recording, I actually wasted a little bit of delta V and just experimentally lowered the orbit just a little bit, and then it turned out maybe that was a mistake. And at first I assumed, because this thing had such a small delta V budget remaining, I'm clicking over here, get rid of those. I just assumed that there wasn't much that I could do with it. I assumed it couldn't make it to the moon or do anything else interesting. I was wrong. I went and started playing with maneuver nodes. This thing, even with its remaining delta V budget, 251 meters per second, that is more than enough to to boot this little satellite out of the system. We're going to do a burn here in a few minutes. What is that, like a little over half an hour? The timing on it isn't really so crucial. It's going to go up here in just about the point where it's about to fall back down closer to Kerbin. It's going to hit the moon sphere of influence, fall towards the moon for a while. And then we're going to see, this is picking up a gravity assist. It's going to accelerate towards the moon. It's getting more velocity, and whatever few little dribs and drabs of delta V are remaining, I'll burn that right at the periapsis. And it's actually not necessary. Just this initial burn will be enough to get escape velocity out of the Kerbin system. But I'll just give it a little bit more, and we'll punch this thing out, and it'll become a solar orbiting satellite with a slightly higher apoapsis than Kerbin itself does. Which it would be one interesting thing to me to note. This will be the very first thing that I have ever done in the years that I have been playing Kerbal Space Program. This will be the very first time that I will deliberately send something out of the Kerbin system. And I've had explosions that have sent debris out of the Kerbin system. And I had one, while not recording once, I made a, like way back, when I first picked up the game, I made just a mistake when I was just trying to eyeball stuff, and I accidentally sent one out of the Kerbin system, and that's when there were no other planets for them to go see. So I figure that in order to meet one of my overall goals of, oh wait a second, this thing, he can actually execute this. I'm taking a look at where that is. In one of my overall goals in attempting to emulate the features of remote tech, you'd think that, no, you shouldn't be able to execute that burn back behind the moon. But I'm thinking it's just a simple timer, right? It's going to turn the gyros on, point it in the right direction, and tell it to turn the engines on at so many seconds later. I think that within my house rules, this just a simple timer setting the maneuver node up ahead of time, that my probes, my various satellites and things can do that without remote tech. What I cannot do is actually change something or give it a new maneuver node or do any kind of maneuvering whenever I can't talk to them. But yeah, simple timer like that for just one burn that I'm scheduling, where it be, and I was assuming it'd be on the backside of the moon, but actually it may not. Yeah, but yeah, that is allowed within the house rules. All right, so let's pull up this. And I've learned to stop worrying, learn to love the maneuver planner, maneuver executor thing. There we go. So let's execute their next node. There it goes, and it lines up. So this, yeah, even though it has no scientific instruments, it'll be, I suppose it'll be some value. It'll be like practice for my guys at tracking an interstellar vehicle as it slowly creeps away from Kerbin. Okay, come on, burn any time now, please. Whee, and away it goes. I want to see this change. Okay, there's all that stuff moving around, getting all kind of weird. Yep, and there is escape velocity with the gravity assist. How about that? And the burn should be done. Good. Okay, so what's the next thing happening in 21 hours? Yeah, so... oh, it's no, the sphere of influence change is then, and it does the next burn a little over 1 day. So we still have another 6 days to go before our next rocket will be ready. Okay, that's cool. So, I should just tell it to execute the next node, as there's nothing else that I have going on until then. Yeah, close that alarm. Thank you. Oh, it just warped straight through the sphere of influence change, didn't it? I didn't realize that MechJeb would do that. Oh, no, it had. Or, what? It just... did it do it? Oh, okay. It looked like it was doing that, like, at time warp, but I guess it wasn't. Things happened too fast. Babblebird, you're a good little satellite. I gave you some faulty numbers, some faulty planning, so it was no fault of your own that you were unable to aim, unable to serve the original purpose. But you will be a good interplanetary, not so much a probe as just kind of like a practice deep space satellite. You can't detect anything, but we'll get some practice aiming all our radios at you. Good satellite. Good boy. It's funny. It's strange, strange how things with this whole orbital mechanics things works out, that the little bit of delta V that this satellite had remaining was not enough to drop it the comparatively short distance to get closer to Kerbin to meet, to get it into the correct orbit. but it was enough with a gravity assist to fling it out of the system completely. It's just, it strikes me as funny. Strange. Okay. Another day, another launch. Let's go. I think the error that I made previously was I started to angle it over a little bit too early, a little bit too much, a little bit too early while it's just barely accelerating off the pad. So we'll wait just a bit. Get it up there and like the surface speed closer, like above like 70, you know? Yeah, like that. Angle it over just slightly. Do a roll program. But that slightly more aggressive gravity turn than I usually do that actually ended up working well. I think that many of my gravity turns I'm still not, I'm not turning enough. So we'll angle over some and just try to keep it under control. The train, doesn't that look cool? I'm glad that we have a fix, a partial fix for some of the, some of the terrain used to look. It's still flatter than I like, but it's looking a whole lot better. I'm glad that some very, very smart people are working on resolving this issue. Yeah, half a degree off. See if we can fix that inclination while we continue this gravity turn. Interesting time to apoapsis is still increasing, but not drastically. Actually, I think we're probably pretty close to catching up to that. Okay, now we're out of the atmosphere. Let's ditch the payload fairings. Okay. With our next stage. Yeah, that works okay. Okay. Everything seems to be working correctly. I suppose this is at the point if you're watching the videos. I like watching the videos of all these real life launches. They're all the time saying this is nominal. Pressure chamber pressure is nominal. And path is nominal. They need to talk, but there's not really anything to talk about, so yeah, nominal. Okay, cool. Yeah, totally nominal, if you ask me. Here, let's go ahead and wake the bird up. And do some quick systems checks, make certain that the payload is alive and functioning. And it definitely appears to be. I haven't actually checked to see how much delta V it'll take to get from 200 kilometers up to my target altitude, up to my desired orbit. Now maybe possible I could just use, yeah, these little guys, use the Dart minis and attach some antennae to those and just fly them directly up without having the need to do all this other stuff. I should probably really look at that, see what it'll take. And let's just circularize this, because circular orbits make me happy. It's like symmetry and straight lines, you know? There we go. Close enough to circular for my tastes. Okay, so now at this point we're going to decouple the node. Just like that. There's the Babblebird is now flying free. Can it maneuver? Yes. Yes, all that stuff works. Let's watch this. Make sure our throttle is at 0. Let's actually remember to stage ahead of time. Unlike the previous near fiasco. RCS down out of the way so it doesn't hit that thing. And deorbit. Just like that. And switch vehicles again. Look at that thing go. Whee! Okay, so what that takes, just under 2,000 delta V to get there. And if we do a second node right here, right at the apoapsis, please, thank you. And we're just going to circularize. Just to keep some of the practice at actually manually manipulating this stuff, you know? Don't let that other number climb too far. 26. You know, that's close enough. We can do, if it's necessary, we can do tiny little fine-tuning of stuff from there. So what's that one? 1126. So, trip info, all told, it takes 3,089. Just call it 3,090 meters per second. Yes, we'll have about 400 meters per second remaining to do fine-tuning and stuff, should it be necessary. Good, 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 good. Rename vessel. Next, actually, the comp, it's a Kerbin comsat. How about Keosync Babblebird 1. It's kind of a long, awkward name, but we'll like it. There we go. Execute next node. Thank you. And zooms away. I remember how long the burn was in this previous one. So I don't really feel the need to watch all of it this time. I did stage so the engine's active, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay, and we are away. Definitely thrusting away. Zoom, zoom. Oh, it's exciting. It's almost done. It's almost there. Boom, just like that. How about that, huh? Yeah, there's not a whole lot of commentary necessary at these points. It's gonna work. It's pretty simple stuff at this point. Okay, and let's go ahead and let's execute the next node. Why not, huh? Watch this thing flying away from Kerbin for a bit. Whee! You're too fast. Okay, getting close. Interesting that this alarm did not go off. I bet you it got confused because I changed the name of the vehicle after the alarm was already set. That's what I bet happened. And it's thrusting away again. Oh, look at this. 23 hours. Okay, just past 24, 25 and change. 26 and change. That's, you know, it's okay. We can work with this. This is, oh wait, see, I was looking up here, the wrong number. No, that's almost exactly 24 hours. Hugh Atkin, you the man. You the guy that told me how to do that. You figured out what the math was and did all the equations and stuff. You're perfectly correct. And we can actually just manipulate things just a tiny little bit if I feel the need. I may not even feel the need. That may be close enough to 24 hours for me. For now. Yeah, it needs to go into a slightly higher orbit, so we'll have to, next time we get around to what, I'll set an alarm over there. I'll just set an alarm at the apoapsis in order to raise periapsis just slightly and see if we can get a true 24-hour. Any case, there is a functioning geostationary satellite. So hang on, here's a test. If we actually accelerate up here towards the next. Oh, what's the next thing? Is we want to change to the other one. Well, here, let's do some time acceleration, and we're taking a look down at Kerbin, and it should maintain. Yep, maintains the same perspective right over the same spot. Doesn't that look cool? I call that mission success. And so we're going to set up at least, you know, bare minimum of 3 of these things. So yeah, we'll get some of the timing going with the other ones to have them all evenly spaced apart. Yep, that works. Okay, so here's this alarm about to go off. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump to this ship. This is our original Babblebird. I suppose I should rename this thing. Here, let's close that alarm. Thank you. As now it doesn't have any more What should I rename this? Oh, I got it. Hang on, here we go. Be sort of traditional in some way, but sort of not. This is going to be our... This is my pseudo-V'ger. Pseudo-V'ger. That's what you are. Go forth and seek and learn things. Okay. Pseudo-V'ger is out past the orbit of Minmus and on its way further. And it's going to gradually, very, very gradually open up some distance between it and the Kerbin system. So, with Hugh Atkin showed me where to get the math in order to figure this out. If I want to set up a synchronous orbit, a surface synchronous orbit over any other body, definitely I'm going to have to look at all the info tabs that we have over in the map view in order to look at the planetary mass, the moon's mass, and all that stuff in order to figure it out. Which was kind of the point of going with the Rescaled mod, with the slightly less used, the 6.4 scale configuration, is because, we don't have just easy guides and all this stuff, and we will have to figure it out. Close that, okay. Now point this prograde. Turn the precision control on and just blip this throttle just a little bit. Orbital period 1 day, 1 minute. Oh, excellent. Yeah, I don't even feel the need to get it perfectly circular. That's enough. Actually, I overshot just slightly. Here, let's see if we can fix that, huh? Because I was trying to get up to 26.3 when what I should have been looking at was the orbital period. See if we can get the orbital period to be exactly 24 hours. Oh, come on, we're like a few seconds off. Just moving it changed it a few seconds. Okay, well, if it were within the margin of error that just pointing this thing different directions takes it above, I'd say that's perfect. All right, cool. I'm happy that works. So we have the beginning, and that looks like, I mean, just for like eyeballing its sake, you know, like to put the geosynchronous, to put it like about halfway the distance out to the moon. It looks right. It looks better, you know? Okay, cool. That's going to work. So what's the next thing we have a launch? We have Atlatl 3 is going to be available less than a day, and I've got a simple payload I want to put together for that. I'm actually going to